And along the way, as we learn new skills, I'm not going to do some things like open up a new document that's 1,000 by 1,000 pixels square. I told you that in the last video, right? And look, we have a rectangle with a white fill and no stroke. That is also 1,000 by 1,000 pixels on this layer called the background, BG. And then create a new layer for your artwork. Click on that new layer. We're ready to roll. Okay? You do that and then come back to this video. Okay? Ready to go? We're going to use the line tool. We don't want a white fill. We don't want to fill at all. We want a stroke, but we don't want a white stroke. We want a black stroke. And a 1 pixel black stroke is just fine. Come out here to the artboard, find the center there. There it is. And one click. One click brings up the line segment tool options, 400 pixels, 90 degrees, no fill. Perfect. You do it too. Hit the letter V to get your move tool. Cool. We're aligning to the artboard, align to top. Now, if none of this is making sense, if this doesn't sound familiar, you haven't been practicing the skills that I've been teaching you. I need you to practice those so we don't have remedial tutorials boring the heck out of the rest of the class the rest of the year. Got it? So if you need to go back and do some of that, do it. Otherwise, Shift, down arrow twice. That's moving. When you hold down Shift and use the down arrow, it moves it 10 pixels instead of 20, or instead of 1. And we did this twice, so we got 20 pixels. Perfect. Now we want to use the width tool, but the width tool needs this line to be deselected. So I deselect and then find the width tool. The shape builder. Find the width tool right here. And see how it's got a little line? It gets thicker and thinner as it goes. That's your visual cue. Now the width tool does all kinds of crazy cool things. And you can experiment later on. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and make this path a little thicker in the middle. That's it right there. Then select that, switch to the rotate tool. And yeah, if you get the width tool and come back in here and play with this, you could do all kinds of crazy stuff to this. So lots of cool things. Now I've got the rotate tool, if you weren't paying attention there. This line is selected. If it's not selected, nothing's going to happen, remember. Oh, I threw that video away, so how can you remember? And we're going 10 degrees, making a copy, and then Command D, right? I'm just going to hold down Command D till I get close, let go. Ooh, I stopped just in time. Then get the black arrow, Command A to select all. Now we want to twirl this. But before we do, this is a starting point. Why don't we save this? Now we can save this any number of ways. I can go ahead and duplicate this layer, which saves it. And that's for sure. It's saved right there. But wouldn't it be cool if we went up to Symbols and clicked, Shift clicked, and then Option clicked on the trash can so we don't get a dialog box and say, "Be gone, default symbols." I want to make a new symbol out of this. Command A. Drag this over here. And we have, I'm just going to call it T1, twirl 1. Now, the difference between a dynamic and static symbol would be important if we were doing something else. I'm just going to leave this and just take it because I'm going to make a lot of new symbols. Okay? And the idea that we can reuse these later on, because as we move through this and start manipulating everything, why did our art disappear down here? Look at that. What happened? I must have done something. Who knows what? But that's easily done. Watch this. I'm going to hide that layer, come down to the art layer, drag this symbol out, and center it exactly on the page, and then break the link to the symbol. And this is now, oh, it's grouped. Shift Command G. This is now what our original art, Shift Command G, twice you have to do it. That's right. Okay, so we've got our original art here. And then we can hide that, come up here to this next layer. Here's our copy. that we made a symbol of, right? So we can break the link and then Shift-Command-G twice. And now this can be edited. So why not Command-A, select all this. Now we can do our fun. We have preserved our original shape as a symbol. And I'm going to just do this one time here. We're going to go on the Shape Builder tool, come down, not the Shape Builder tool, on the Width tool, excuse me, and then down to the Twirl tool. Now, for a lot of you, the Twirl tool is irresistible. You click and hold and get, whoa, look at this. Scotchko, come look at this. Yeah. I've seen this stuff. This is not what we're going to do. Okay? With everything selected, I'm going to double click on the Twirl tool and change the width and height to its maximum dimensions, which, anybody got a guess? What's the size of our artboard? 1,000 pixels is the maximum dimensions. The intensity, I'd take down to 20, and the twirl rate, I'll take that down to 20 as well. Okay? Click OK, and then come out here and come to the center. Notice, see our brush size covering the entire 1,000 pixel square artboard area? Don't click and hold. Just click. Boom. Pretty cool, huh? So what happens if we make a copy of this? I want to see if this disappears. It shouldn't disappear under any circumstances. Then we can come here. Now we can do our thing without breaking up the symbol. Command-A to select everything on this layer. Pull this thing over here. Call it T2. Hit return. It's okay if this is a symbol on this layer because it's preserved. That was the idea here we wanted to stick with. And remember, we can select everything by clicking on that meatball too. And then switch back to our Twirl tool. No shortcut. See that? And come to the center. One click. And we're making a series of these. Now, I'm not going to, and I almost drug it in there. Let's make a layer. Turn that layer off. Come here. Command-A. Drag this over here. And it's T3. Now, I think you get the idea of where we're going. Why don't you make a series of these so you can see? Here's the original. You got to turn the original off, although this is something I'm going to show you later. There are things you can do with multiples that really start to do other cool stuff. Okay, there's that twirl, that one, and this next one hasn't been acted on yet. So once again, we can come out here, find that center, and just click once we're on it. Now, you might be thinking, they all look the same. They don't all look the same. There's variations in a theme here. And the idea that you build these iterative copies, you know, what if you want to make something that has a bunch of different swirls? Not just one repeated, but different ones. Maybe with different thicknesses on the lines. I don't know. The point is, if you work smart and preserve each one of your copies, well, and actually, they're preserved right here. You then have a running record of what you did. So working smart, sometimes you take it too far, and if you haven't saved out the copies along the way, you know, it's gone. It doesn't mean, you know, for something like this, this is real easy to recreate. Other things, and I'll do something really different that's easy to recreate, but other things aren't so easy to preserve if you don't save your work in an intelligent manner. You never know when these files are going to come in handy.